Welcome. This video is the solution to the challenge Inventory Check Part 2 from TechHub.training. During this video, I will go over how to install PyTesseract and use it to extract barcode values from PNG files and match them to a data frame. You can participate in this challenge by following the link in the description. Alright, so from the instruction page and the challenge website, we will receive two downloaded files. One is the Challenge X Inventory Check Part 2 Excel file, and the other is a zip folder. This contains all of the different barcode pictures that we'll need to go through using PyTesseract. However, in order to do that, we need to extract them from the zip folder. Now that that's done, inside we'll see that we have the folder for which company we're going through, which is Innovatech Publishing. And right now this accounting team is doing an inventory check. And then we have the samples for each department. So in department AAA, here we have the pictures of each barcode for each item. In the Excel file, we have the product ID for each item, the date it was received into that department, the barcode number for each item, the date it was counted for the inventory check, and then the support file path extension. This is essentially so wherever the challenge folder is in your computer's directory, you can simply append that first portion to this extension to know where the file is inside of the folder. Now that that's all squared away, we can talk about how to download PyTesseract. In the instructions, you'll follow a link that will take you to GitHub where you can download the Tesseract installer. This is for Windows and you can download it here. I won't do it during this video because it takes a couple minutes to download. But once it's downloaded, you can install it, go through all the normal steps there. More details are in the instructions page, and then start the installment. Once that's done, you will find the new folder under Windows, Program Files, and then here you'll find it Tesseract/OCR. In here is different libraries and executables that PyTesseract uses for its image recognition. The executable we need is right here, Tesseract. Now that we know where it is, we can copy its file path, and we'll use that in Python. So here I already have the code written out, but I'm just going to explain what each part does for this solution. So here, once the folder is installed, we can install into Python with a pip install. And then the libraries we'll need is pandas and then PyTesseract. Once the library is imported, we need to tell Python where the executable is in our computer. And so we can do that with pytesseract.pytesseract.tesseract_cmd, and then paste in the file path of that folder we just downloaded, and then the extension for the Tesseract executable. Once that is done, we need to get the file path of where the challenge folder is in our directory. So for example, for me, I just have it here under downloads. And here I would go inside of the folder and then copy the file path, because right here is the first half and we want it to match with Challenge X Innovatech Publishing, and then here Innovatech Publishing is where the extension starts here in the data frame. So that's what I'll be copying, and I like doing that with an input statement just so I don't have to worry about doing all the escaped backslashes. And then we need to read in the Excel file, and I do that in the same way by copying the file path of where the file is, and then just typing out where the name of that file, so the Challenge X Inventory Check Part 2. And then the UPC barcode, we don't want to treat that as just a number. We actually want to treat it as a string that we can match for the image recognition. And so we'll turn that UPC column into a string type. Next, we want to make a new column that combines the folder directory with the support file path extension from the data frame. And we can do that by creating a new column. We'll call it the PNG path. adding in the folder directory that we created earlier, and then the support file path extension column. What this will do is create a new column here that will include the original file path of where this whole challenge folder is, and then append in the details of how to get into that file for each item. Once that is done, we can actually start using PyTesseract. PyTesseract, it gathers the values, and we want to put those into just a giant list that we can append to the data frame. We can do that by initializing an empty list here, and I'm just calling it PNG values, and then we'll iterate through the entire data frame. And so I'm doing this with an iterO statement. I'm getting the path value, the value from the PNG path column, and then we're finding that value with PyTesseract with this function here. So it's PyTesseract.image to string, and here we'll put in the entire file path of where the PNG file is, and then .strip because it has some of that white space on the ends. And so this will gather the value inside of that barcode picture. We'll append that to the list we made, and then once Python has gone through the entire data frame, it'll take that list and we'll append it as a new column in our data frame. The way we do that is the data frame .assign, and then PNG value is the column name equals PNG values, which is the list that we made earlier. So now all the values are in there, but we only want to know about files or items in that data frame that don't match. We can do that with a simple does not match, so it would be df2 is the new data frame, and in the first data frame where the UPC column does not match the PNG value column. Once that new data frame is made, we can export it into an Excel file. I like using just the file path so that it'll come out right next to all the other files that we've been using, and we can run it now. So that's going, and it wants to know where the file path is for the client audit folder. So that's right in here. Copy that. All right, now we can paste in the file path for the challenge folder. Hit enter, and then we need the file path for the Excel file. That's just in downloads. Hit enter. See that it's running. It's finished. And then in the same downloads file, we have the solution folder that we just made. And then here it is. So we have the product ID of BBB1 and CCC1, and here we see their UPC values were actually flipped. So it looks like the pictures of the barcodes must have gotten, just out of order. So that is the solution for the inventory check part 2 challenge. Thank you for watching.